So we will begin with our CDS skills part. So we covered data, object-oriented ABAP and data to some extent. We will try to check out a few things on CDS reviews also today. And also I will share you a few tasks to be performed. You execute that in the system and observe the results. So with that, we will get some understanding on CDS views also. So with all this knowledge, we can begin our RESTful Application Programming developments. We will create our BTP file account and we will create the above instance, and from there onwards, we will take how to start our application developments in the BTP Cloud platform. So let us begin with some CDS discussion. So you have seen the history of application developments, how it started from modular program and up to SAP UI5 and SAP RESTful Application Programming Models we are talking about, we discussed. So RESTful Application Programming Model, RAPM or RAP, is one of the latest programming frameworks which we can use for developing a complete end-to-end application along with screens, views, presentations, and everything, right? Only just by using ABAP. Even your Fiori UI5 screens also will get generated automatically based on various annotations we are using in our coding part. So simply, quickly, you can develop one Fiori application by using our RESTful Application Programming, RAP framework. In that, the CDS views plays very, very important role. I'm not sure how many of you have created CDS views in the past and for what purpose. Today we will try to understand the story behind CDS views, and also we will see how to create some of the CDS views. Usually CDS views also is another type of views, a different type of views. One of the technical object we do create in our SAP systems. We will create tables, we will create function modules, we will create classes, we will create forms, right? In ABAP, you will develop so many types of objects. They are all called the repository objects. Your tables, your reports, your forms, your function modules, your classes, right? These are all called repository objects. Similarly, CDS views also one of the repository objects. We will develop CDS views also according to the requirement. But for developing this CDS views, we cannot do it in our SAP GUI. There are some challenges. Even in future it may come up, but at least at this moment, we cannot create CDS views directly in our SAP GUI. There is no transaction code. For example, S11, you can go to S11, where you can create database tables, domains, data elements, views you can create. Creation of views, that option is there. But creation of CDS views option is not there in your S11. Then how do we create? Where do we create? For that, SAP, not only for CDS views, for some of the other latest technical developments, we have some limitations in our SAP GUI. We need to create them by using Eclipse. Then what is Eclipse? Have you heard about Eclipse before?
Eclipse is an IDE.
Right. So Eclipse is an IDE, Integrated Development Environment. So Eclipse is basically one editor. By using that editor, we can develop some applications. Eclipse is actually not part of SAP. It is not the product of SAP. It is an open source tool. Normally, we do use Eclipse when we are writing mostly Java applications, Python applications, C programs, or C++ programs. Basically, it is a common editor for developing different types of codings. Lot of HTML coding, XML coding. We can develop lot of different programming environments we can use in one place. That's why it is called Integrated Development Environment. And Eclipse, we will download. Eclipse, we will install in our system. It is a very, very straightforward task. In 5 minutes of time, you can download and you can install also. Once it is installed in Eclipse, you can develop some Java applications, C programs, C++ programs, everything. Because for developing different types of programs, the required tools, debuggers, uh, and then testing tools, everything is readily available in Eclipse. It is an open platform. Eclipse is a different organization. So they developed that editor for especially for programmers. Programmers who wanted to write some coding, they can use Eclipse. Different programmers for different technologies also, they can use Eclipse. And anybody can contribute some funds to Eclipse company, Eclipse organization. They will gather all the funds from global and they will do some R&D. They will invent something new features, etc. It is an open source organization. Eclipse.org you can type. From their website you can download and you can install Eclipse. Exactly that editor SAP also recommending for the development of the latest objects like CDS views and MDPs and other things. So we can download and we can install and we can use Eclipse for connecting to our SAP system, and we can develop some required repository objects. And eventually, Eclipse is becoming the more popular editor for all types of ABAP developments. For example, are we using Eclipse only for development of CDS views, but not any other repository objects? For other repository objects, should I again come back to SAP GUI and log in from there? No. Your reports, your tables, your function modules, your classes, all types of ABAP developments you can make even from Eclipse also. For that, whatever is required, that is already there in Eclipse. But those things will not come automatically when you install Eclipse, guys. After you download and install the Eclipse, we have to add some additional software in our Eclipse. That additional software will bring all the ABAP-based tools for making your ABAP developments, whatever additional tools required, that all also will be coming available in our Eclipse. Normally, Eclipse will come only with required tools and buttons for only Java and other environments. But for ABAP developments, by default, installation of Eclipse will not have that option for ABAP developments. We have to add one more tool called ABAP development tools that we need to add in our Eclipse. Once if that ADT is added, ABAP development tools are added in Eclipse, then your Eclipse we can use along with Java developments. We can use Eclipse for ABAP developments also. Normally in your company, it is by default get made. If not, we can do that. How do we? Let me show you that. So let us go to Google and here you type SAP HANA tools. You type this option SAP HANA tools and enter. Then the very first link you will get for SAP development tools, tools.hana.ondemand.com. You go there. So this is the place it will guide you how to download Eclipse, how to install Eclipse, and after that how to add ABAP development tools in our Eclipse. Everything will come here. You see the very latest Eclipse 2024 June version. You can click on this link to download that. Okay. Just if you click on that link, it will take you to the latest Eclipse. Just click on that. You see, for your Mac version, for your Windows version, you can download the latest Eclipse. You can download. It will get downloaded into your system, and after that, you can unzip that, and you can just run that file. Your Eclipse will get installed. Okay. So normally Eclipse will support Java developments, C++ developments. Okay, different things it will support by default. In fact, different versions of Eclipse is there. You download this one, any Eclipse you can download. Of course, I'm downloading and installing Eclipse not for the purpose of Java developments, but for the above developments. So I can download and install any one of these flavors. Normally, we will download this version, Eclipse IDE for Enterprise Java and Web Developers. So we will download this Windows version or Mac OS version, right? And I will install that also. After installation, what do we do? You just think like Eclipse is installed. And after that, you go to this option called ABAP. So if you wanted to use that Eclipse for ABAP developments, what should we do? We have to add, I said we have to add ADT tools, ABAP development tools in our Eclipse. For doing that, here, if you come down, they are saying the procedure here. First, you have to get the installation of Eclipse. Yeah, we did that. And after that, once the Eclipse is installed, we have to go to this option called Help. There is an option called Install New Software. There, they are asking to paste this link. You paste that link. Next, finish. Then automatically, all the ADT tools, ABAP development tools, will install in your Eclipse. From this link, it will take automatically. It will extract. So, your Eclipse also installed, and your Eclipse is loaded with ADT tools also. That means now you have the complete Eclipse ready with you for developing ABAP objects from Eclipse. That is the procedure we will follow. Normally in your company, in your systems, this will get ready for you on your desktop by default. If not, you can ask your system IT administrators. They will install that, and they will, once if they install Eclipse, you can do this process for adding the ADT in your Eclipse. Because direct download and direct installation we cannot do, because definitely you will have the restrictions. Okay, Eclipse is ready. ADT tools also loaded, so it is ready for your ABAP developments. But how do I come to know whether ADT tools are installed in Eclipse or not? You can check that. I will show you. If that option is not coming, that means ADT tools are not loaded in your Eclipse. Then you have to go to Eclipse. You have to go to Help menu, install new software. You paste this link. Next, finish. From that link, your Eclipse will extract ABAP tools and it will load them into your Eclipse. And lot many things also there here about cloud connectors. We will talk about cloud connector after some time. That is one of the topics we will discuss. At that time, I will explain that. And BW tools, lot of other tools data you can get here too about various installations. This is called SAP Development Tools. Directly, you can come to this page anytime. So, as like Eclipse, exactly Eclipse only, entire Eclipse platform only, but SAP copied that and added some more things automatically, some new tools in that, and SAP actually calling that copied version of Eclipse as SAP HANA Studio. We call it like SAP HANA Studio. So this is a duplicate version of Eclipse, but of course it is added with some automatic additional tools also, because SAP always. So HANA Studio also, HANA Studio is, as I said, like copied version of Eclipse made by SAP. So we can download HANA Studio, we can install that. ABAP tools will come in that. You can use HANA Studio also, or if you don't have HANA Studio, you can use Eclipse also. Both are pretty much same. Just HANA Studio is a copied version of Eclipse made by SAP separately, because always SAP, they will inform the Eclipse company that we are taking your Eclipse, we are adding some additional features in that, and we are using that in the name of SAP HANA Studio. All that will happen with some proper agreements only in place. So you can use, and that's why whether you work in Eclipse or you work in HANA Studio, you will see everything same options, same environment, everything. So from here, you're using SAP login pad for logging into system. Similarly, there is another editor also is there here for us that we can use. Let us go for SAP HANA Studio. Click on that. So this one also we do use for connecting to your SAP system. So when you launch Eclipse or HANA Studio, it will ask you some folder location for workspace team. By default, it will take some location. If you don't want that, you can go to browse and you can select any other folder also. Basically, in that folder, it will save some backup files, etc. Just you can continue with that. If it not allows this folder, then you go to browse and you choose some different folder and that you can create in My Documents or desktop somewhere, and that folder also you can choose. So here my Eclipse or my HANA Studio is loaded. That comes like this. When you first time install Eclipse without ADT tools, at the time, normally your Eclipse will come. So go to Window, go to Perspective, open Perspective, Java Perspective, open. So by default, your Eclipse actually comes like this. This is for Java developments. You see, create a Java project, create a project, import a Java project. So by default, all these buttons and all, not for ABAP. This is for Java. Your Eclipse will comes like this. If you don't install the ABAP development tools. But I don't want to use it for Java. I want to use it for ABAP. So let me change to changing the channel from one channel to other channel. Same Eclipse, but if you ask it for no, I want to use it for ABAP, your entire screen, these buttons, these menus, these frames, everything will change according to ABAP developments. Like that, it will support various programming environments for you using the same Eclipse for different types of developments. Now let me go to ABAP style. This is Java style appearance. If you want to go to ABAP style, what will you do? You will again go to Window, note down that path, Perspective, open Perspective, Other, make a note of the path, Window, Perspective, open Perspective, Other. Then here we will choose ABAP Perspective. Oh, is it? Why ABAP Perspective is coming here? So I can go to ABAP SAP HANA Perspective, SAP ABAP Perspective. Those things will not come by default in Eclipse unless you add that ADT tools. Because here ADT tools are already added. That's why it is coming. If ADT tools not yet loaded in your Eclipse, you can go to Java Perspective, Java Hierarchy Perspective. These things Web-Go, XML, only those options will come. But ABAP and SAP HANA based perspectives will not come until you added that ADT tools in your Eclipse. But here it is already added. That's why I'm able to see them. Now let me go to ABAP Perspective. Let me select ABAP, click on Open. Then you see at the bottom, the window changed and outline came here, and these buttons also little bit differences you will see. And here, if you go to testing, okay, run as ABAP desktop with ABAP test environment like this. These options will come. Earlier, run as Java application like that. So these icons will change. On the left hand side, you see create ABAP project, create ABAP Cloud project. These options are coming because right now you are in the ABAP perspective. Once again, if you wanted to go to Java perspective, go to Window, Perspective, Open Perspective, Other Perspective. Let me choose Java. Then your options, your appearance, your controls, you see Java document, declaration, problem statements, create Java project, and the run I can also move here. If you go here, run as, it will change once if you open that project list. So create Java project. So options comes over like this. So that is what is called whether ADT is installed or not. You can check like this from here. If we don't get this option for ABAP, that means ADT tools are not yet installed. Suppose if ADT tools not yet installed, then how do I install? They shown that procedure. No, earlier I shown that in the HTTP in the URL link. What should you do? You open the Eclipse, then after that go to Help menu, then go to Install New Software, then use this URL. Let me copy. For example, in case if Eclipse tools not at, ABAP tools not yet installed, then what should you do? You have to go to Help. Then here there is an option Install New Software. Go there. Then we have to paste that URL here. Then you will select this ADT tools, ABAP development tools, or BW tools also. If you want, you can select both. If you don't want, you uncheck that. Then go for next, finish. Then from this link, your Eclipse will extract the ABAP development tools also. You don't need to do anything, just next to finish. It will take 5 to 10 minutes time for the installation. Installation will get completed. Right now I'm not doing that because those tools already added here. So once if they are added, you can come here and you can do these options.
Sir, like how do we connect to this SAP logon? Like without SAP logon connection, how can you perform in this Eclipse environment?
Yeah, we will connect it now. First we prepared the Eclipse. Now SAP logon will connect.
Achha.
Got it. Now Eclipse is ready. Now in Eclipse you might have so many SAP servers. So now you wanted to develop in which SAP system. But we have to do that SAP logon. That we will do from here only. So in your company, you have two different SAP S/4HANA servers. So which server you wanted to connect? What is your user ID, client ID, password, login? Then to which system you wanted to connect? And because you wanted to do the developments in that system only. So what you have to do, that is the next procedure.
Okay.
Okay, so now on the left hand side, guys, you see this one. Create an ABAP project, create an ABAP Cloud project. There are two options coming. What are these? For example, if we have S/4HANA server or any SAP server, which is a local system, your internal server in the sense on-premise system, which is available in your network. If you wanted to connect it to that system and wanted to do the developments, like example, this one. So S4H server we are connecting. What is this S4H server? This is one of the internal, our in-house S4HANA server. And that details also we have seen this, right? This is the instance number. This is the application server ID. And this particular system, we are logging also by using the user ID password. So this is called on-premise server. So I wanted to develop some report into this S4H system. Then what do? You will create a ABAP project here. Here we call it like project, nothing but to which server you wanted to connect. Suppose if you wanted to connect it to another SAP server, different SAP server, again you will create one more ABAP project. So here each SAP server connection is called ABAP project. I will show you. But right now, ABAP is not only available in your local SAP servers, but ABAP also available in the cloud, in the BTP environment. We will talk about BTP more in detail, but you wanted to connect it to ABAP, which is available in BTP server, and you wanted to create a project there. Sorry, you wanted to create a report program, table, CDS view, whatever it is. You wanted to do that in the ABAP server, which is there in the BTP, in the cloud. Then you have to create this project. Create ABAP cloud project, you should go for. That time the options will come different. First, let us see how to connect it to our local server and how to create our small development. If I wanted to do that, I wanted to either I can use my SAP GUI for connecting, or I can do from here also, from Eclipse also. You must do it from Eclipse, especially when you wanted to create CDS views. Let us do that. Click on this link. Follow the path here. Click on this link to create an ABAP project. Then automatically the system will show what are all the SAP servers already installed, already listed in your local SAP GUI. You see in my SAP GUI, already we have one system here, S4H. So that list, see that the list of these details will automatically come here because I am doing the local connection. So exactly, I wanted to connect it to this server. Even if it not comes also, manually you can type in the next screen. Application server 00 instance number, system ID, everything. Yeah, I wanted to connect it to this S4H server only. Click on next. Then it will ask you same. If this list not comes here, then no problem, guys. On the next screen, anyhow, you can type these details manually. System ID S4H, then your application server name, then instance number 00. These details manually also you can type. Click on next. Then what is the client and user ID password it is asking. So from here, from Eclipse, now you are establishing the connection to your local S4 server. Client 100, user is same credentials which we are using for connecting to, sorry. Next. If the details are wrong, it won't create. Click on finish. You see here, I got a project here. See, my S4H server, client 100, my user ID that is SAP RAP underscore 00, and I log in with English language. So just that details, you can just rename this also, guys. If you don't like this name, you can change this name also. But here, I connected to my local server. Now another server you wanted to connect, another project you wanted to create, you can do similar way. Then one more entry will come here. Then this will be there forever. So when you come, again you can continue. If it asks for user ID password, you have to enter. That's it. You don't require it to create this project. So creating a project is just nothing but creating like your SAP GUI entry. Then I can expand this. All local objects I can see here, like $PMP, whichever you already saved in $PMP. You created one table, you created one OData service, you created some reports, everything you can see from here. You can open them here. You can modify here. You can create new things also here, whichever you want. So for example, this is my user ID. There are 22 objects with my user ID. Going up here, source code library, web objects, dictionary objects. So when I expand the dictionary, I want to go for database tables. Yeah, yesterday I created, now this is my table. That SAP ZRAP employee underscore 00. I can double click on that. I can see my table here. I can add, I can modify the table here. So this is our table, but of course you will see like a text description. You can see in the tabular format also. There are various options available here. Then I wanted to see the content of this table. Right click, open with data preview. I can see the content of my table also from here. Right, these are the records: employee ID, employee name, my table data. I can close this up. Let me create a source code library. All the classes, whichever classes I have created, the classes, DBC extension classes. Yesterday our OData classes we created now. I can go to my class here. I can see my methods, and we can see what is the code written. But of course, you will see little difference from your SAP GUI to Eclipse. But Eclipse is very fantastic one. slowly, if you start work on these things, your job, your options, your execution become more and more convenient. Eclipse is fantastic editor, and nowadays all developers eventually switching for all of their developments mostly into the Eclipse side only because of the features. But initially, it will take some time for you to get settled, to understand, because SAP GUI is more convenient. But options wise, you will see more futuristic options here in Eclipse. But of course, not 100% it is replacing SAP GUI. Still, for certain things, we have to go and execute a couple of administration, especially from administration side, only from the SAP GUI. But this is a developer point of view. This is not something like the replacement of SAP GUI. But from developer perspective, developer point of view, this is the editor. That is what we are talking. And now, reports, classes, everything you can create, I said. Even you can create here, you can modify there. You can create there in SAP GUI, you can come and modify here. Because ultimately both are happening in the same SAP server, right? Then what is what? You are using two different editors. Ultimately, your object saving in the same system. But CDS views kind of developments, RAP developments, we have to do only from this editor. So HANA Studio and Eclipse, both seamlessly same. You will find the same options, same settings, everything. Because HANA Studio is not something which is separately developed by SAP. This is also developed, this is nothing but the copy version of Eclipse, as I said before. For example, here in my local objects, under my username, let me create a simple test program. Right click, new. What do you want to create? Class, interface, package. No, not this. I wanted to create a BSP application, business service. What do you wanted to create? So many options coming here. Let me go to source code. Here, core data services, CDS. There you will go. There you will see the options for creating various CDS views. CDS view we will create here from core data services. Dictionary objects means tables, domains, data elements, all you will create here.
Hey, you know, ZaranTech now offers SAP corporate training. That's right. Train your workforce in SAP with our comprehensive program. We offer customized courses, certified trainers, and hands-on labs for both individuals and businesses. Our standout features? Bespoke training, fully configured servers for practice, in-house materials, and a dedicated LMS. Plus, get session recordings and 24/7 support. From functional to technical modules, we have got it all. Choose ZaranTech for SAP training and watch your team excel. Learn, upskill, succeed with ZaranTech.
Let me go to source code library. So ABAP class, ABAP program, ABAP include, ABAP class, ABAP function module, everything. So I wanted to create a simple ABAP program. So this option you will find under the source code library folder. Here this is source code library. On the left hand side, it will come here. So I'm not choosing ABAP plus, I'm choosing ABAP program. Next, let me create a new program. For example, GRAP underscore report 1. My first report program. Then let me go to next. Then transport request. You can create, right now transport request not coming because I'm saving it in the $TMP local object. But if you create a new package, it will create a new transport request, or you can save it in the existing transport request if you already have any transport request number. But right now it is $TMP, so transport request is completely disabled. That's okay. Let me go to finish. Then my first ABAP program created here. See, same like your ABAP editor. A lot of options, numbering, screen numbering, and everything we can enable here. Debugging we can perform here. Okay, so here let me write for example, my first statement. Welcome to Eclipse editor. My ABAP program written. Let me save it. Control S. Then this is for checking the errors. You see that tick mark. Check for the syntax errors. On the bottom left, you can see ABAP syntax checker contains no errors. If there are any errors, that also will come in the problems statement. Then this is the activate button. If there are multiple objects to be activated at once, you can click on activate all. So right now it is only one activate. My report also activated. Now I can test this. I can test this in two ways, as a console application or as a ABAP application. Console application means output will come here at the bottom, just like a blackboard output. But if you do that as a SAP application tester, it will show like SAP screen. Look at here. So come here. Here there is an option, run as. How do you want it to run it? You want it to run it like a console application, F9. If you choose that, output will run, and here console option will come, and that output will come here. So this is a local testing. No, not like this. If this is tested in SAP system, how the output comes like that if I wanted to see. This console you can close anytime if you don't want. Again, go here. Run as console application you can choose again. It will come the output and show the output here in your console. You can clear this is the earlier output, this is the present output. Okay? You can clear the console by clicking on this button. For quick test results, we will use console testing. Or else, go to run as. Sometimes if that option is not coming, just close that and go again, it will come back. Run as ABAP application. So if I do that, it will execute in a different tab, and it looks like in SAP screens, how the output comes, it will show like that. This is like SAP based output screen. It will come like that. Got it, guys? So let me close this. This is how I can do this testing. Now this program, I wanted to open in my SAP GUI. Of course, it is there. Let us go to SAP GUI. Go there and log into your SAP system. So let me go to my SAP login. So let me go to SAP API. Same report I will open here. GRAP underscore report 1. I can go to the program. Let me go to change mode. The program came here. Let me go to edit mode. Let me write one more statement here in my SAP system. I can activate this here. I can test that here. It's coming. Fantastic. So the program actually I created in SAP GUI, but program I created in Eclipse, but the same program I came here and I modified here and I executed here. Now once again, that new code, if you wanted to see here, let us close this code. Go to source code library, go to programs, open that new program that you created. That revised code you can see here. Again, you can test it from here also. Like that, it will work out. You can create a connection to your SAP GUI. You can connect, you can create objects, you can work on that. Now with that, we are done with introduction to Eclipse and connectivity and testing also, basic testing also. You make sure all of you are able to do the same thing, whatever I have done now. If you are done, then you are good to start with Eclipse also. Now I will give you 30 minutes time now. Let's check it out. Open Eclipse, create your connected to your S4H and everything. Test it out. Any problems, any challenges, I will help you. After that, we will begin CDS. So everyone able to test that?
Yeah, we tested it.
Perfect.
Created a program
Next,
and they are executing successfully.
nice. Good job, man. Right. Let us begin with the CDS views. The introduction to CDS views. So before we talk about CDS views, first let us talk about views first. Because CDS views is also one type of view. Ultimately, it is also a view. Because we know about the concept of views. Already in our SC11, we created a database tables and views also. Hope you remember that. So what is called view?
Views are basically logical table, combination of more than one table.
Always combination of more than one table? Always?
No.
Need not.
Need not. Right, need not.
No.
So it is a logical, what you said, logical?
Logical database table.
Can
Combination
you
of lot.
explain that? Can you elaborate that with some more example, more specifically?
Like suppose we have a multiple table and I want to just show the all the field of the table, so we just have to create the view.
So what will happen?
So I want to display all the field of the table, all or the particular field of the table. So we have to create the view, because suppose I have a three table and I want to get the specific column means field of from the all the tables. So we just have to create the view.
Look, so you have the understanding about views. So views is basically a virtual layer on top of the database tables. Simple. The view is always a virtual layer. You know the meaning of virtual. Virtual means which is not real. A virtual layer on top of your database table or tables. Why so? So basically it is letting you to see only some portion of the table, but not the entire table. See, for example, I will ask you, hey, come and see from this window. From this window, if you see, you will see a very beautiful view, because from that angle, if I see, it is hiding all the places. Straightly, it is showing me some hill and all. So from there, we will say, hey, from here, it is good. It is looking very nice. And also, when you go to some hill stations and others, there are some viewpoints also they do maintain, because from there, if you see, the things are appearing, the things are finding very nicely, beautifully. We call them as like viewpoints. Exactly the same thing here also. View is not, view is basically facilitating you to see the things from a different angle, comfortably, nicely. So always our data is stored in the tables. That is a fundamental formula. Anytime data information always stored in the database tables. And we will access that data from the database tables. By writing the select query, we will get the data from the tables, from RO table, EKKO, EKPO, etc. And sometimes we will have the requirement to get the data from multiple tables also. So I wanted to read the data both from EKKO and EKPO at the same time. Or 3-4 tables also I wanted to join together, and I wanted to get the data from all of them. So how these views are helpful? I have a Mara table, and my Mara table is having 250 columns. 250 columns. Very, very big table. Every time when I wanted to get the data, select material number, material description, material group, material unit, kind of fields. I'm actually exposing my entire table, or if I write select star from Mara into internal table, all 250 columns of data is loading to you, which I wanted to limit. Then I will create a view. So view basically allows you to expose only some portion. So on the first 10 columns of the table, I'm creating a view. So the view is hiding the remaining things. It is covering everything and putting some small window like a hole. From there, I can see only the 10 columns. So it is a virtual layer which is used to expose only some part, some portion of the underlying tables. So that through the hole, if I see, through that small hole which I made as a view, if I see, I can see only 10 columns of data. Anytime I can access. So instead of using Mara, now onwards, I will start my view. Select start from view. Select start from that view name. That view always exposing only 10 columns of the table. So star means not all the 255 columns of Mara table. Star means all the columns of the view. The view is actually defined with only 10 columns of the Mara table. So that data only will come to me. So my handling of the table becomes so easy by creating a view on top of the table. Sometimes or most of the times when I am reading the data about purchase orders, I wanted to get the data from header table and item table also. So every time I should write some join statements to get the data from EKKO and EKPO together. Every time when you wanted to read the data from multiple tables, you need to write some join statement. Inner join, outer join, whatever join, but you have to write some join. It is becoming again load for me. Instead of that, if I can create a view which is joining both tables and exposing some columns from one table, like 5 columns from first table, 6 columns from second table, total 11 columns, first 5 columns from EKKO and another 8 columns from EKPO, along with proper join condition and everything. Now you see in your program, simply just you can write select star from view name. Enough. There is no join. There is no join statement. Nothing. Select star from that view name. Because that view is already defined in such a way which is joining both tables on some condition and also picking some columns from one table and other table. So it is a view with a clear definition of the joining and also the clear definition of the required columns from both of the tables. And it is a one-time definition, and every time in my real uses, I will do right to select start from that view. I can simply fetch the required data from that view. So in that way, the views are simplifying your database access operations. It is simplifying things for you. Instead of exposing the whole data, instead of writing the conditions, join conditions every time, simply it is absorbing the join condition within itself and picking the data from both tables. So for you, it is only one single entity. You don't even know you're reading the data from 2 tables or 3 tables. Then your program, your select query is made as simple as select star from view name. And just one single name you are putting. But it is automatically picking the data from the background from 3 to 4 tables also. Like that, views always simplify our database access operations conveniently. For that purpose, we do have views. That kind of views we will create in our SLA. Also, those views are classified into different types. Database views, projection views, maintenance views. Like that, we have different types of views. So views are not something new to us, but those views are just providing very, very limited operations. What is meant for limited? Just only it is exposing some columns like a projection, or in the database view, it is picking the data from 2 columns from 2 tables. That's it. Not doing anything much. But when it comes to SAP HANA, so what is SAP HANA? Guys, what is SAP HANA?
In-memory database.
Where are we using
In-memory
that?
database.
Right. Where are we using that? Where are we using that HANA?
In all SAP systems, we are using HANA.
Right. So guys, in any SAP product, if you take SAP SRM, SAP CRM, SAP S4 HANA, or any other SAP server, always we need one database to hold the tables and to store the data. So database means RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. For every SAP product to operate, you need to have an RDBMS also within it. In the initial days, we used to, companies used to have Oracle as a database. Now first they will install Oracle, on Oracle they will install SAP product. So in that Oracle, all the SAP tables will go and sit. Even if we create any G tables, that also will go and get created in Oracle tables, as Oracle tables. In case that is company choice. If companies don't want to use Oracle, they can go for SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server. So first SQL Server will get installed in the server, and then SAP software will install. Then all SAP tables like Mara table, EKKO, EKPO, all your G tables, everything will stored in the SQL Server database. So all the information, tables, data will be stored in the SQL Server. Like that, SAP products use it to work. Companies use it to go for different databases and SAP licenses also. So SAP products use it to run on different databases like Oracle, SQL Server, MaxDB, then Gupta's SQL. So many databases are there in the world. But around 30 to 40 years, that was the story executed. More than 30 years. But SAP realized about the drawbacks in that. And SAP wanted to develop their own database. Instead of depending on other databases where customers are going and paying licensing for that additional database. And also those databases are not even so great, so powerful. So SAP thought of develop their own database with a lot of innovative features. One of that innovation is about in-memory concept. We will talk about in-memory at a later point. But instead of using Oracle, instead of using SQL Server by their customers, directly SAP is only selling their own database to SAP customers. So like that, we have the views for easy and simplified database abstractions. Instead of using the traditional databases, SAP wanted to come up with their own database. Then they developed this own proprietary database, SAP HANA. Now customers are, when they wanted to install any SAP product, they don't go for Oracle and SAP. They will go for only HANA and SAP. If they wanted to install BW server, earlier they have to license for Oracle also, and they have to get the license for SAP BW also. But now HANA, on HANA they will install SAP BW. Like that, HANA is became their core database instead of using the other databases. But still, if we wanted, we can use that. But all the latest products like BW for HANA, S4 HANA, these products completely renovated, completely redesigned, only to support on HANA, only to work on HANA. So these latest SAP products cannot work on other databases anymore. Compulsory, you must go with only HANA as your database. So clear. It is an in-memory database. Comparatively traditional databases, it is coming up with 10 times faster performance. And HANA is more than a database. It actually supports programming also. HANA programming also we can do. HANA developments also we can do. So you don't need to write ABAP programs. Purely HANA programs also you can write, purely. They will directly run in the HANA database alone. So that's why it is not only database, it is actually called as platform, HANA platform, because it is just not like a database replacement for Oracle or SQL Server. It is a database. Along with it, it is a platform also. It has some programming languages that it supports. We can develop that. We can directly test that. No need of using ABAP. That is actually called HANA native developments. HANA programmers, HANA access engine is there. So HANA is more than a database. But right now we are thinking only from the database perspective. We are not bothering about the HANA programming capacities. HANA can do so many things. As I said, it is just not only database, it is more than a database. It is more than a database. It can do many things. HANA native developments also we can do. So one is it is a fastest database and different compression ratio. We can store very large volumes of data in very less space. Even when we are fetching the data retrieval speed is also so high. Apart from all these things, they wanted to add one more thing, especially when it comes to views. We have views and we have been using views for quite some time. But that view is just only picking some columns of the tables, not doing anything more. Just not doing anything more. But what I wanted is, what HANA is saying, hey, you guys, fetching the data from table or view into your internal table, then you are writing a loop statement, loop at internal table. Then you are doing all the calculations, computations and everything. Why so? You ask me. So I will give you the data from EKKO and EKPO, and while giving the data from both tables as a view, and also I will do some calculations like the highest sales order or the lowest purchase order value or the summary of all the purchase orders by each month wise. I can do the calculations also directly in the view. And when you write select star from the view name, not only the columns data, but also computed data. That means calculated data also directly will come to you. HANA is saying is that I can do that. Only thing you have to do is you have to write a different view. Don't write like a old style view, like your database view, projection view. Those views, if you see, you don't have any option there to do some calculations, condition checkings. Only what are the columns you wanted, whether it is from one table or from two tables, what are the columns you wanted. That is the only thing we are doing in our traditional views, isn't it? But, and after I fetch the data, I have to do a lot of things in my program again. I wanted to add all the purchase orders totals by each month wise. Again, I have to write that in my above program. But what HANA is saying is that it changed the way you are writing your view. In that view, you also mentioned you wanted these calculations to be done, these if conditions to be done, these switch case statements to be done, these program arithmetic statements to be done. You add all of them in your view. That completely cooked data, completely prepared data, it will throw back to you. Like earlier, it is something like we are getting rice, ingredients, masalas and everything, and we only have to cook the biryani. Again, for cooking the biryani, it will take another half an hour to 1 hour. But in HANA, by using CDS views, directly the cooked food, the cooked biryani directly coming to you. Just you go and eat it. That is what HANA is saying. I am capable, I am powerful, but you are only not utilizing me completely. Why are you still going with your old views? Now I have a new concept called CDS views, core data services. That means that operations are executing at the core level, at the core data level. Core means the center, at the core line. Core data means at the raw data. Raw data means your table data. At the table data, directly the calculations will done and your view you will get. fully prepared, fully calculated data you will get as a response of your view. So then when you write select star from that CDS view name, you are not only getting the data from view, but that view is doing a lot of calculations within itself. That is the only difference. Other than that, it is the same. But this CDS views comes up with, as I said, it itself contains a mini code inside, just more than the table field selections. We can write if conditions, automatic conditions, calculations, functions, many things we can do. That is all happening because of the power of SAP HANA as a database. So once if you create a CDS view, other than like a normal view, it is also a view. So basically it is a view. That means ultimately your data will store only in the tables. Views are a facilitators for accessing the data. We already discussed at that point. But this is a different view we are creating, more sophisticated view with more features which it is allowing. And more than that, you can create one CDS view on top of other CDS view also. Fantastic. That is not possible in our regular views. Views we can create only on tables, but in CDS view, suppose on 5 tables, I have created one CDS view. Then I will create another CDS view on this CDS view. I will create one more CDS view on the second CDS view. So CDS view on top of other CDS view for even further filtrations, for further calculations, so that your database access operations are even further getting simplified. So hierarchical CDS views also we can build. In the traditional CDS view, you can do only inner join and outer join, inner join and left outer join. But here, different types of joins also supported. Inner join, left outer join, right outer join, union, kind of operations are possible here when you are using the CDS view. So altogether, in one simple summarization, it is more advanced views than your regular traditional views. But this CDS views we can create only from the Eclipse. Once if the CDS view is created, it is a view for you. You can use that in your programs, applications, wherever you want with your select query. With your select query, you will use that. But in the recent times, they even enhanced more things in our CDS views. Not only database retrieval, even that database to show it on the screen, right? I wanted to have some, according to the data, my purchase order, material code, for every of these fields, whichever I selected in the CDS view, I wanted to provide some, I wanted to design some UI, some more additional properties I wanted to add to that fields. For that, they introduced the concept called annotations. So by writing annotations, even we can enrich your CDS view with more and more features. We will talk about that annotations also eventually in the later periods. In the old days, we used to create CDS views in the name of CDS view. But since last 2 years, SAP has come up with another types of CDS view, and this time we are calling this one as CDS view entity. The new one is called CDS view entity, not CDS view. CDS views, or also we call it as like dictionary based views, or the old style. Now they are becoming absolute. We are not creating that kind of CDS views anymore. We are using only CDS view entity. I mean, this is more simplified version, more latest version in the CDS view creation. I will show you the difference between both. Let us go through some content here about CDS views. So you know about SQL. SQL contains select command, insert command, update command, delete command. All these things will be there in SQL command. Similarly, similar to SQL commands, similar kind of things we can do in CDS also. In the older versions of ABAP, like less than ABAP 7.4, before ABAP 7.4 versions, we cannot write any expressions. We don't have so many join tags. We cannot do union, all operations and everything. But after ABAP 7.4 version onwards, a lot of new things are added over there in the concept of CDS views. I will share this PPT. You can go through for reading. If you compare your normal ABAP dictionary views, that will not support any calculations, that will not support any expressions, aggregations, grouping of data like that. And also you cannot create a view on top of other view. There is no option for doing that as well.
What sets ZaranTech apart in SAP corporate training? It's our unique blend of expertise and innovation. We offer customized courses tailored to each client's needs, ensuring relevant, targeted learning. Our vast trainer database brings you wisdom from the best in the field. Need resources? Access our extensive training material repository anytime. We are all about measurable results, providing detailed student metrics to track progress. And we don't just teach, we build community. Join our thriving social media network, connecting learners beyond boundaries. With ZaranTech, you are not just training, you are transforming your SAP expertise.
But the game changer arrived, that is your SAP HANA, in-memory computing database, and it comes up with a lot of advanced technology, processing speed, layers, etc. Columns, row storage of data types and everything, with every acceleration in every of this area. Because of the power of HANA, now we came to this programming model. See, earlier what we used to do, we used to fetch all the data first into our program, into internal tables. Then we used to write loop statements, calculations, computations and everything in the program. So that is the left-hand side part. Data to code. So data will come to code. The management will happen only in the code. Because of that, your program will take more time. Your ABAP program will take more time to process the data. If you run the report will run after 2 minutes. Sometimes that much of lagging also will be there because it is doing a lot of calculations. So there is a lot of load taking place in your ABAP program. But because of HANA, so why are you taking the load? You give me that load to me. I will do that calculations. I will prepare that food. I will cook the biryani and directly will send you. You just eat it, you just use it. That is called code to data paradigm. So in this one, we are developing the CDS views for doing all the calculations and everything at the database level. The completely prepared data will comes into your internal table. Then display that internal table data by using ALVs or by using any other controls on the screen. Lot many things are taken care by HANA database alone. So the burden on your application server is reducing. The burden on the database server is increasing. But your database server can do that because of HANA. For HANA, that is not at all a burden anymore. HANA is much faster database. So it is certainly a good thing to reduce your load from application layer to database layer. That is what we are following in our latest programming styles. Data-centric approach. You can see the clear difference between the change here. Earlier, between database to presentation, the maximum load used to be taken by your application server, your program. Most of the things carried by your program. But now, your database is performing database logic and the database operations directly. So certain load taken by database, certain load taken by front-end applications. In between, the load of the central application server, you see it becomes so lean. It becomes so reduced. Because of that reason, your performance of the applications is increasing in our S4 HANA servers. But HANA is just not only a database thing. In HANA, there is a separate component also called HANA XSA, that is a runtime environment. You can develop HANA native applications also. That is also possible there in SAP HANA database. But in SAP HANA, how the database operations are taking calculations, computations and all with the concept of core data services, CDS. Core data services are on HANA. So because of that feature, we are able to create different types of views with more control, with more, enrichment in the view definition. You will see a hell lot of difference when you compare your traditional views with HANA-based views. Nothing but this CDS views. So CDS views supports, CDS views is a combination of these three languages: data definition language, query language, data control language. All these things we will use in our CDS. So CDS views, CDS concept is a combination of these three languages. So with the DDL commands, you will create CDS views. With query language commands, you will consume the CDS views. With the DCL commands, you will set some authorizations, access permissions on your CDS views. So that CDS view concept we will use in our ABAP also. In ABAP also, that is how the CDS view is actually born. Same CDS view concept we are using in our ABAP also. In ABAP also we do create that CDS views, because now we understood that CDS views are much powerful views than any other types of views. Then why not we use that in our ABAP? So we will stop using our SE11 views like projection view, database view, and in place of that, we started creating CDS views. So whatever views, CDS views we are creating and using, we call them like ABAP CDS views. At HANA database also, if you create directly, that is called HANA CDS views. So there are two types of CDS views. HANA CDS views means which you are creating directly in the HANA database. We don't use that. Normally from BW and other environments or who are doing HANA local, HANA native developments, they will do that. That is not our area. Because we are ABAPers, we are developing applications in ABAP. Concept remains the same. From ABAP environment we are creating. So we are calling these things as ABAP CDS views. So it is database independent, advanced view building, and so many annotations are there. Authorization checks also automatically taken care. We can do associations instead of using joins. Associations are more advanced than joins. CDS table functions also we can use. These are all the advantages of CDS views. Comparatively with your ABAP normal traditional dictionary views, we can have more types of joins, inner join, outer join, union, all these things we can do. Calculations, aggregations we can do. View on top of view also we can do, comparatively to the old views to latest ABAP CDS views. But as I said, there are two types of CDS team. Those who are doing HANA native developments, they do create HANA CDS. Those who are doing ABAP developments, they do create ABAP CDS. Both are CDS views only, or from where we are doing. So from Eclipse, in our environment, whatever CDS views you are creating, those are ABAP CDS views. So we don't have the option to create that in our SAP GUI. That's why we will go with Eclipse. In Eclipse, we will install ABAP development tools. Morning I told you. From there, we do create. So we can go for Eclipse. Morning I shown you how to open the perspective, ABAP perspective. Then you can create a ABAP project. Then after the ABAP project, I shown you all these options, syntax checking, activation, double click execution, all these things. Comparatively, you can see both things in SAP GUI also. And any more details if you wanted to know, You can go to SAP HANA tools. Morning I shown you this option as well. That's it. Now let us see how do we create a CDS view. The one which you are seeing on the screen is the old style. First you will create a CDS view. You will write some define view name. You will write some syntax. That is called the data definition. That is your from which table, from Mara table, or from which table you wanted to create, what are the fields you wanted to take. That is all you will create. That one we do call data definition. From the data definition, if you activate the system used to create two things in the bottom, one CDS view and one SQL view. This SQL view, you can go and you can see in your SL11 also. But this is old style, guys. We are not doing this. SAP stopped supporting this. We are now creating only CDS view entity. It is no more creating SQL views. Only data definition. If we activate, one CDS view will generate. SQL view not generating anymore. So this is the syntax it looks like. If you wanted to create a CDS view, you have to do define view, your CDS view name, from which table you wanted to select the fields, what are the list of the fields you wanted to select, that you have to write. First, this is the very simple definition about creation of a CDS view. And also, in the old style, we need to write one SQL view name also on the top with a different name. But now, as I said, we are not following this style. In the next slides, I will not show this thing. But just to tell you, the older style also I'm showing this. So one SQL view name also you use it to write, because for some architectural support earlier they made it like that. Now there is no SQL view generation, only CDS view alone will generate and alone will run. Name of the CDS view and from which table and which fields you wanted to select. For every field, you can give some alias also. Alias means just one technical name. Alias means just one easy name to refer, easy name to remember your field. Now the latest one is a CDS view entity. Earlier was CDS view. This is called CDS view entity. We have to do only this. The older style is stopped. CDS view entity, your CDS view name, as select from table name, your fields and all the things remain same. We are not providing any SQL view name anymore in this CDS view entity. So when we are creating some CDS view, by default, on top of the CDS view, you see on the top list, some annotations will come. Those annotations are for additional properties. According to the requirement, we will change them. You don't need to worry about them at this moment. You can ignore. Some annotations will come. Annotations are nothing but some properties. All annotations will start with the @ symbol. Let's say whatever is starting with the @ symbol, those are called annotations. You will understand some annotations on the go when we are working on things. Define view name, select from table, and all the field names. And if you look at here, the example, there is an annotation I given. End user text dot label airline I given. So this is called field level annotation or element level annotation. That annotation is an additional property which will work for the carried field. For each field, you can write different annotations. So that annotation we will write just above that field. So end user text dot label airline I written now in the CDS view, if you see, that annotation is applicable for carried, not for the remaining fields. So whichever annotations for whichever field you wanted to write, you can write it on top of the field. These are called element level or field level annotations. But the annotations which you are writing before the view name at the top, that is called view level annotations. So those are applicable for your entire view. Those are different things.
like you said that this Eclipse will not replace 100% with SAP log one. Like, what does it makes not to replace?
No. See, if you wanted to create users, roles, authorizations, those things we do from SAP GUI only, right?
Okay.
And also module pool programs or screens, if you wanted to do, that is not there in Eclipse. You have to do that only in SAP GUI.
Is it wantedly done that way that there should be some dependency on GUI, or the Eclipse would not offer such
No, Eclipse
programming?
eventually Eclipse will come up with those options also. Eclipse all just started a few years ago, starting from CDS views and all. Other than that, for us, we know only SAP GUI for all developments. SAP GUI, but Eclipse is only from the editor, only from the coding development point of view only. Like, but the administrations, users, authorizations, roles, we will do a lot of things in our SAP GUI, right? And functional configurations, functional customizations. So those things and functional transaction codes, those things we cannot execute from Eclipse.
Okay.
Only from developer perspective, developer point of view. Roles, user IDs, your authorizations, permissions, securities, all the things is not there in Eclipse yet. But just from editor point of view, more and more they are adding. Even these many things were not there in the initial Eclipse also. After that, the dictionaries, enhancements, and all. But screen developments and all, you have to do only from SAP GUI. So once if you create a CDS view like this, then you can right click on the CDS view. There one menu will come. If you go to this option called Show SQL Create Statement, for this CDS view, how the SQL statement looks like, that also you can see, just for your idea only, that is not required. But technically, this CDS view, how the SQL command generated internally for this CDS view, that just you can observe there. And also some of the other options, if you see on your CDS view, you right click on the CDS view, open with the data preview. You can go there. So you can see the output of the CDS view, what data it will display, what calculations it does, what table fields it is displaying. Just quickly you can see the table content. You can see the table output of the CDS view. And also there is another option called right click on the CDS view and then go to this option called active annotations. If you go to active annotations, what are the annotations created on the CDS view on different fields? That also you can see. Just some of the options are given. We will see these things practically on the system. So if you go to active annotations, it will show like what are the fields are there in CDS view. On the fields, what is the annotations given? The field heading is coming from data element or field heading is coming from your own annotation. That details you can see there. And also there is another option called right click on the CDS view, go to dependency analyzer. So that the dependency analyzer will show that CDS view is built on another CDS view or that CDS view is built on table. What is the foreground story? What is the past story? So that CDS view is created on what is other CDS view and that one created on what table, that hierarchical dependency, that hierarchical structuring of your current CDS view, you can observe there. So if you see here, in this example, that CDS view is directly created on the SKR table. SKR is one of the table. So directly table and view, that's it. But in case if there are multiple levels, which tables are joined, which CDS views are joined, how this present CDS view is prepared, that hierarchical structure you can see by go to the option dependency analyzer. Similarly, open with also is there. From the open view, we will see dependency analyzer. But that is there for old CDS view. So for the new one, it is not yet available. maybe it will come in the future. For the new CDS view entities, dependency analyzer is not yet available at this moment. Only for the old style CDS views it was there. I think it is available now. We will check that. Similarly, you can go for open with the data preview. So data preview will show the content of your CDS view. That means in the real time, if you use this CDS view, how the table output will come up, that list you can see. And not only that, on the right hand side, if you observe the screen, so initially it is showing only first 100 records. You can change that number to get more records. Or you can use filter also. Suppose I wanted to see only Hyderabad employees. You can go for filter. You can use some filter conditions. Only that records only will get listed. Number of entries, if you click on, how many records are coming from this CDS view, the total number of records that you can observe. SQL console, if you click, you can see the select query of that CDS view. You can see. So all these options you will find when you see the data preview of your CDS view. You will see all these things practically on the system. First, I will explain things, and after that, I will show you. And you know about the escape character, right? @ symbol. In the latest ABAP syntaxes, we are using that, right? For inline declarations in our select commands and all. For example, if you look at that, normally in the old style of ABAP queries, and this is not about CDS view, guys. I'm talking about the ABAP feature. First, we will declare the internal table, and after that, we will get the data into internal table. But now, with the selected fields, internal table can be generated dynamically. You don't need to define the internal table in the beginning itself. Directly, internal table with the required fields will automatically created at the time of select query itself. If you wanted to do that, what do? We will use this data declaration, right? And also we do use this @ symbol. So if you wanted to generate the internal table, directly, dynamically, we will keep that escape symbol. And also any system fields, if you are referring, those also should get separated by @ symbol. This is the new syntax rules in ABAP 7.4. The @ symbol we are using nowadays for dynamic declarations, for dynamic field uses in our select queries. I think you are using these things in your regular coding also, and internal tables and standard system fields to get separated by @ symbol in the new syntaxes. So CDS views are actually introduced in the SAP ABAP version 7.4, SP05, Service Pack 05 version onwards. And the new syntax is mandatory when using the CDS view in the select statement. So if you wanted to fetch the data from CDS view in your select statement, you have to follow this new syntax, new style of coding. In the new syntax, if you see, each column is separated by commas. In the old style, just only we do use the space. Select, field name, space, field name, like that. But in the new syntax, the field names should get separated by commas here. This is the new style, new syntax in select command. We have to follow this new syntax only when we are fetching the data from CDS views. Normally, in the old style, once again, first we will write the field names. Select the field names from table name. But in the new style, we can do this way also. Select from table name. First you can write the table name directly. You see the below style, select from table name. Direct to table name or view name directly you can write. After that you can write the field names. But there you have to mention the keyword called fields. So select from table name or your CDS view name, fields, whatever the fields that you wanted, where condition you can put in, and group by, order by, that is all up to you. Finally, the last statement is into table, your internal table. Your internal table finally will come at the end of the query. This is also more easy to remember, easy to follow. Select from table name, fields, field list, where condition. If there is any order by or group by that you can write. Finally, the last statement is into table, your internal table name. Again, your internal table name should get separated with the @ symbol. This is again the new syntax of using select query, which we use mostly when we are working with the CDS views. Which one did you like? The first style or the second one?
Second one.
Second one is very easy, very convenient. But in the second one, the field names should be separated by comma. In the first one, fields are separated by space, here by comma. You have to use only either of these style. Better follow the second style. Then how do we create CDS views and what are the syntaxes? We will try to understand here. So if you wanted to create a new CDS view, you have to right click on your package. One of the package you will create. Right click on the package, go to new, ABAP repository object. Then I shown you already in the morning. We will go to the section called core data services. We will go to core data services, create, you will choose the option called data definition. The very first CDS view you will create by choosing data definition. There your package name will come. The data definition you should start with Z, that CDS view name you can put up. Some description you can put up there. Then it will show you, after that name you given, when you click on the next button, it will show you some templates. These are all some ready-made templates. You have to choose one of the template. Template means some sample code will come, sample syntax will come. You will modify that with your table name and other things. But what do you want to create? Define view or define a view entity, define a root view entity, define view with a join. You see, there are so many templates. So define view we will use in the old style when we are developing SQL based CDS views. But that is obsolete now. That is not being used. Also, it is called the DDIC based views. We are not creating that. We are going with the new style, that is define view entity. So we will choose the template define view entity. Then we will click on the finish button. So some of the syntax rules here listed here. Only ASCII characters and should not, you can use uppercase or lowercase, but do not mixed. And literals, character literals, we should put it in single quotes. Numbers directly you can put up. Comments, if you wanted to use both comments, you can use. Just offline comment is 2 lines. Full line comment is a slash star star slash. Those that we can use for commenting the lines. And each field, wherever it is required, that will be, each line, wherever it is required, that can be separated by semicolon. Like in ABAP, it is full stop, right? In CDS views, it is semicolon, but not every line. In some places, we will use that semicolon. Look at this example. If you are creating the old CDS view, you do like that. Define view name as select from table name also you can use. Field names also you can use from table, you can write last or directly fields also, but this is the below one is the right one. That is first to mention the table name and after that mention all the fields in the curly braces. Define view name as select from table name, curly brackets begin. All the fields we are selecting from that table, we will put it in the curly brackets. Finally, we will close that with the curly brackets. This is the style we are following. Your view name can contain up to 30 characters, should be in uppercase. CDS view entity 30 characters, and case sensitive. DDIC based views you don't require to worry team because almost we stopped using that, working that, so don't worry much about that. And how do we perform joins? So when it comes to joins, we need to learn about two things: associations and joins also. There is a relation between these two. Guys, any idea between associations and joins? Can anyone knows the difference between joins and associations? So you know about joins. So joins we do use to combine the data from two different tables and everything by using some condition, join condition. We have different types of joins like inner join, left outer join, right outer join. We will talk about that more details. Inner join means intersection. So whichever data commonly available in both tables, that only will get picked up. That is called inner join. So I have some employees. Each employee taken some leaves. That leaves data is there in the second table. I have 100 employees in my company in table A. In table B, each employee, some employee taken 5 leaves, some employee taken 4 leaves, like that. But some employees not taken any leave. That means those employees who not taken any leave so far, they will not have any entry in the table B. Because once if they taken a leave, then one record will get created. For every leave day, one new record will get created with employee ID and the leave date in the second table. But some employees not taken any leave. That means they don't have any entry for that employee ID. There is no entry in the table B. During that time, if you do inner join, only the data of the employees, which is there in both tables only, will come. That means only the employees who have taken the leaves, that data only will come. Some employees will be left over in the table A. That will not come because that employees, there is no related record of that employee in the second table. Only the data when it is there in both tables, that employee records only will be fetched. That is called inner join. Did you get me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Inner join means that there should be some record existed in both tables. That only will be selected. But there is a called outer join, left outer join. So left outer join and right outer join is also there. Left outer join means first intersection. That means all the employees who have leaves, that data will be selected like inner join. But after that, those employees who left over, who does not found their record in the second table, but it is there in the left side table A, that also will be selected. For the leave relevant field, so it will have only blank values. But these employees who are left over in the left side table A, that also will come into the output. That is called left outer join. No. Sometimes what will happen, some commonly not existed records will come anyhow, but some records left in the table A, some records left in the other side also, because there is no common record found in the middle. Then I wanted to select those records who left in the right hand side, who remained in the right hand side of the table. That if I wanted to fetch, then we will use right outer join. Mostly that is very rare combination. In very rare situation, we will get that right outer join. Intersection, left side records, right side records also should come to me. That is called union. Like that, different types of joins we will perform. When you do join, immediately the common combined records from both tables will come together to you. But association is not like that. Association is actually called as like lazy join. Lazy join. So system, for example, I have 1,000 sales orders. Each sales order contains 4 items, 5 items like that, line items. EKKO, EKPO. 1,000 purchase orders. Each purchase order contains 10 to 20 line items every order. If I do join, what happened? All these 1,000 orders and all the line items both will selected and it will come to you in the output. Why? Unnecessarily, all the data is coming to me. But instead of that, let me first get only purchase orders data. If I choose purchase order 5, then immediately I should get the line items of purchase order 5. If I wanted to get the line items of purchase order 10, then only the system will pull the purchase order line items of purchase order number 10. So join is there, but the data is not there. On your actual click, on your actual need, that time only the join will perform, the data will come to you. So on the need, on the requirement based. Instead of reading 1,000 purchase orders and 1,000 all the line items of all 1,000 purchase orders, let me first get only purchase orders data. It will show you whichever you selected, that relevant purchase order line items only will come to you. So join is performing on the need, on the instance, on the requirement basis. That's why it is called lazy join. Instead of getting all the data and loading your system with thousands and lakhs of records, this will work out very well. That is the difference between joins and associations. We will create both of them. We will work out with them as well. So when you are using the inner join to get the data from two tables, as you are finding on the screen, it is compulsory. You must mention the table name also in the prefix. That particular field should come from which table. So here CAR ID, CON ID, CAR name, currency code, these 4 fields I am getting from the table SCAR, city from city to, airport from airport to, these fields I am getting from the second table SP Fly. 2 tables we are joining in this query, SCAR and SP Fly, based on some common join condition. But
our comprehensive student metrics ensure top-notch learning experiences. We track engagement through attendance, participation, and video interactions. Performance is measured via quiz scores and assignment submissions. We monitor learning behaviors, including time spent and revisit patterns. Our metrics cover social learning, course completion rates, and even post-course success. With technical data on platform usage and device information, we optimize every aspect of your learning journey.
The last 2 columns, if you see, airport from and airport to, I did not mention the table name. Whether the 2 columns should be selected from the first table or from the second table. Then it will show the warnings to you. It will not allow you, but the system is not clear about that 2 fields to be selected from which table. It is mandatory always that the field names should be prefixed with the table name also when you are using the joins. If it is becoming difficult for you to write the whole table name, we will create an alias for the table name. Like first table we will call like A, second table we will call like B. So then A dot CAR ID, A dot CON ID, A dot currency, CAR name, A dot currency code. Similarly, B dot city from, B dot city to, B dot airport from, B dot airport to, we will mention. Just some shortcut names we will give instead of writing the whole table name. But mandatory, you must mention that particular field is getting picked up from whichever table. Look at this example. This is how we will provide the alias name. For SCAR, one alias, for SP Fly, one alias. This is I given like A, there I given like C. So wherever you, from whichever table you wanted to pick up, that alias names you can mention as you are finding on the screen. So in this example, the A and C are the alias we given for table names. Similarly, you can give the alias for your fields also. And for any field, if you wanted to give some easy name to remember, you can provide the alias by mentioning as. So in this example, cur code. So cur code is becoming difficult for me to call. So instead of that, I give an easy name to that field as currency code, as currency. So as currency, so currency is a alias, is a duplicate name for the field called cur code. It is not mandatory, but whichever fields you wanted to write, you can write the alias names. It's not mandatory to write the alias for all your fields, but some of the fields, if you wanted convenience to call them, you can do. But once if you provide the alias name, that one only you have to use. So that field is no more called cur code. That field name you have to always call with currency when you are displaying, when you are using. Once if you provide the alias, you should forget the old name. You have to use the new name only when displaying the output. Wherever you are using, you have to call that field only with the alias name currency. You do remember that. Simply, you can put some where condition also. While fetching the data, I don't want to fetch all the data from both tables completely. I can put up some where condition also. So my view will pick up not only the common data from both tables, but also it is filtering some unwanted data in the first selection itself. Only the limited records only will get selected according to the where condition you have put in there. And along with that, some of the fields you can define like a key fields also in your CDS view. It is easy for a lateral operations, not mandatory, but it is recommended to create the required fields as like key fields in your CDS view also. So further joins, further view on views creation process will become easier if you maintain the key field in your CDS view. So based on the requirement and the business process you are handling, you will come to know which fields to be created like a key fields. You can have one key field or multiple key fields also, but still this is not a table, guys. You always remember, anytime it is a view only. It is a view. It never be the table. So it never store the data within itself. Finally, again, the data will go and stored in the backend table only. View never contain any data on its own. View will have zero records. View is a virtual thing. It is not a physical thing. Physical thing is always your table. Physically, data is located only in the tables. That is forever true. View never contain any data on its own. Just on the go, it will fetch the data and will display to you. It is just helping you. That's it. And another thing is, all the fields should be separated by comma. Even in this field list, when you are creating the CDS view also, with the field list, all of that fields separated by comma, except the last field. For the last field, we don't put comma. We will leave that. After that, curly brackets close. Anywhere condition, if you want to put it, you can write it at the end. You will see practical testing of these things too. And about the preserve key who is not required at this moment, we leave that out. Right. So annotations. So some of the annotations always will start with @ symbol. So some are element level annotations, some are view level annotations, some are some extension annotations. Every annotation is something like a property. Some additional properties we can provide for your view, for your fields. On the go, when we are working on views, we will learn more annotations. The more annotations you know, the more control, the more understanding you will have on your CDS views. Some of the annotations: client handling dot type, inherited, client handling dot algorithm, automated, access control dot authorization check, ABAP catalog.compiler.compare filter true or false. So if I make it true, it will behave one way. If I make it false, it will behave differently. Various settings, on and off settings like that. Whether it should get buffered or not. Buffering status active, buffering status none. You can change the values like that for your CDS views based on annotations. This is not the right time at this moment. Whenever the right time comes, you will learn and use more annotations. So many of these annotations we will use practically when we are creating CDS views in our applications, especially semantics. Semantics annotation is used to write the field level property for some fields, especially for currencies and quantities. Those are mandatory annotations. Mandatorily you should write it when we are using the currency fields and quantity fields in your CDS views. We are going to develop an application. At that time, we will use that. So annotations we can write after the right side also, after the right side of the field also, but that is not the good style. We don't use that. We will write the annotation always above the field name. Above the field name only we will write it because everybody should follow the same style. So most of the people follow that style. So we to follow that. So in two ways it is possible. Annotation we can write above the field, or annotation we can write after the field also. That is the given in the bottom side, but mostly we will prefer the first style. And sometimes when we are writing the annotations, some annotations will put in a grouping also, guys. For example, look at the above screenshot. There are 4 annotations: ABAP catalog.compiler, ABAP catalog.buffering. But all these are comes under ABAP catalog. Again, in that one, last 3 annotations comes under buffering the technique. So we can group them like this, like a shortcut keyword, shorthand operator. ABAP catalog, that curly brackets. First one is compiler.compare filter true, comma. All the remaining 3 below belongs to buffering technique. So once again, you can write buffering column. You can put one more curly brackets, type, number of key fields, status. Those 3 simply you can write. Again, the curly bracket you can close. So like this also you will see this is just instead of repeating the whole lines, we can group the commonly related to the same group. The annotations belongs to same group can be combined together by using this brackets grouping notation also. Just if you wanted to write like this, you can do. Still the above lines also will work out. But instead of doing that, see, most of your statements, if you have write statement in ABAP, we are writing only write once and put in comma separations. Data declarations, if you have data, you are writing once and put in comma separations, right? Shorthand operator, same like that. The colon is the shorthand operator. Always the property and the value should be separated by column. And if you wanted to change more settings about your CDS annotations in the Eclipse, there is a settings place is there in your Eclipse. You can go to Window, Preferences, ABAP Developments, Editors, Source Code Editors. There some settings about your CDS views also you can customize it, but that is very advanced one. By default, settings are more than enough for you to handle your things. So any text descriptions, if you are putting for your view or for your columns, the maximum will be 60 characters they are saying. That is okay. We don't give more than that. Shorthand text not available. This is also not required. Now let us see other than the fields. So far we have seen only we can select the fields, but what else we can do more than fields? We can include case statements, if statements, expression statements also in your CDS view definition. In case statement, if you wanted to include, there are two types of case statements, simple case and complex case. In simple case, just one conditional operator you can include. In complex case inside case also you can put in. Look at this example. For example, we are creating the CDS view. I'm fetching some data from one table. In that table, there is a field called class, and I wanted to check the value. According to the given value, I wanted to throw some different values. When the class value is y, I wanted to give the response back like economy. When the class is C, I wanted to give the response back like business. Otherwise, if you select only the column class, what will happen? The system will throw maybe Y or C or F. That value only you will get. But instead of that value, I wanted to convert that into some text, and the text I wanted to send in the response. So which I'm doing that conversion in my view creation itself by using the simple case and case statement. So when you are using that kind of case statement, compulsory for the final output column, you have to provide one alias name as class underscore text, as class underscore description, some name you can provide it, but you should provide some alias text. So this is one simple example. We will execute all these things in the system. We'll see the results also, guys. So, right. A simple case statement to be included in your CDS view. Similarly, some complex case statement if you wanted to include when class F, then so value. When weight is cases and luggage weight is more than 20, then X. So multiple when conditions which are getting joined with end. This is about a complex case statement. Just multiple cases, multiple fields also we are checking inside. Inside when again when. So when class is F, then blank. Else, again in the else part, we are putting one more case. Case inside case. Like this also even you can write nested case expressions. Also you can put in your CDS view definition. Similarly, you can perform some arithmetic calculations also. You can perform some arithmetic calculations also, like a couple of fields you can select, you can add two fields, you can subtract two fields, you can do multiplication of fields, and that results. So whenever you are doing this kind of arithmetic operations in your CDS views, compulsory for the resulted fields, you must provide the alias name. As that alias names must be provided for this kind of computed fields, calculated fields. It is mandatory. So this is how we do write arithmetic expressions in our CDS views. Casting also we can do for converting the fields from one data type to other data type. We do use casting. This is one example about converting the string into integers, string into decimals, string into dates, so that we can specify standard ABAP data type, which we can specify. Depending on the need, we do use ABAP dot int for ABAP dot decimal, ABAP dot floating. Those are all the standard data types. Any text literal if you wanted to convert that into other data types, you can do that by using the casting operation. Similarly, division operators, modulus operators, and so many functions like absolute function, floor function, ceil function, rounding the numbers to two decimals or one decimal. All these arithmetic calculations also you can include. Similarly, string functions, concatenating two strings, replacing one string with other string, finding the substring. These operations also we can execute, finding the length, finding the left side 10 characters, right side 10 characters, kind of operations also we can use. Converting into lowercase converting into uppercase also we can use. So these are some of the examples. We will execute these examples in the system. About concatenation, about replacing, about finding the substring, about finding the length. Finally, this is the output of your CDS view. These kind of things you cannot do in the normal views. Normal view, just you can take over the field names. You cannot do any calculations, computations, aggregations on the fields. Just all the fields will be selected. But here, fields also selected from the tables, and on the fields, calculations also can be performed. Finally, that response will come to your internal table when you are querying this view. Unit conversions, currency conversions also we can do. There are separate functions for that. Unit underscore conversion. We'll see that with some example. Currency underscore conversion is another function module available for converting the currency data from one currency to other currency. And also date functions, date between, adding days, adding months, changing the formats. So dates dash between. If we give two dates, automatically the difference will. So higher date minus lower date. Old date minus new date minus old date. That the difference will come. Days you can add, etc. Alright guys, so these are the functions in CDS view. So, and there are a couple of more things also to talk about that. We will discuss that in our next session, and also practically we will test these CDS views. Parallelly, we will begin with our ABAP instance also.